Video about electron configurations. So as we've learned before, we know that electrons are found in the energy levels. More specifically, if you look within an energy level, you know that there are sublevels and orbitals. And so the electron is actually found all the way inside in an orbital. We are going to learn how to show you where electrons are located using an abbreviation known as electron configuration. Okay, so an important thing to start with is to remember our sublevels. So within an energy level, there is an S sublevel. Okay, S is the name of the sublevel or the letter given. So here is S, and let's imagine this line, or we can make it a box, is a sublevel. Each sublevel has an orbital, so the line will represent the orbital. This is the S sublevel that has the S orbital in it. Each orbital can hold up to 2 electrons. If you want to know what an S sublevel looks like, it actually looks like a sphere. It actually looks like a sphere, okay? So remember, we're still talking about the atom and what the atom itself, those energy levels, look like, okay? So we've got the S sublevel. We also have the P sublevel. The P sublevel actually looks kind of like a dumbbell shape or an infinity sign or the figure 8 laying on its side. And we've got one that kind of goes in the Y direction, in the X direction, and the Z direction, so kind of on an angle. We just label them PY, PX, and PZ. They're just 1, 2, 3 orbitals in the P sublevel. And each one can hold up to 2. So the P sublevel can hold a total of 2, 4, 6 electrons when full. Okay. Again, remember these also can be somewhat empty or totally empty as well if there's no electrons. And then if you remember yesterday, we also learned about, or in a previous video, we learned about the D sublevel. And the D sublevel has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbitals in it. And each one can hold up to 2 electrons each. So for a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 electrons can fill up into there. And the D sublevel, it doesn't really have a distinct shape. It's actually quite unique, the shape, so we don't give it a name. Okay? All right, so now we can relate those S, P, and D to the periodic table. As it turns out, the periodic table is arranged in a very unique way to show the sublevels. So, which makes it kind of nice and easy, is that the first 2 columns represent the S sublevels, or we call them the S block. The transitional metals seen here represent the D, and all the way to the right we learned that the those elements are in the P block. So they help us, you're going to see in a little bit, do a really quick, easy kind of a representation of where the electrons are. Okay. Something else to note is on the side here, if you notice, I've labeled the rows on the periodic table. The first row is also known as the first energy level. The second row is the second energy level, and so on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your row number is actually equal to your energy level. That's good to remember, as you'll see when that comes up in our next example. Okay. So let's go to our example, and we'll start with the first element, which is hydrogen. As we learned in our previous video, hydrogen has 1 as its atomic number, which is its proton number, which in a neutral atom is also its electron number. So hydrogen's atom has a total of 1 electron. And if you remember, this is my Bohr's model showing 1 electron in 1 energy level. How did I know hydrogen only has 1 energy level? Well, here we go. Here is hydrogen, and it's in the first, so it has first row, so it has only 1 energy level. There's your trick. That's how many energy levels you know to draw. Only 1 energy level, okay? This energy level, we also know something else about it, has a sublevel of S. So we know that this is 1s, okay? So that this sublevel is S. How do I know? Because hydrogen falls in that S block. Okay, so now we want to do something called electron configuration, and that is a way to tell you exactly where hydrogen's electron is. Okay, and the first thing we do is we first write the energy level that we found the electron in. So this is energy level 1. Then we write the sublevel. We said we saw that hydrogen falls in the S block, And then lastly, because I have one electron, I make a little 1 as a superscript to let you know the electron. So this is 1s1. Again, same exact thing. Now I'm just labeling. 1 represents the energy level. That comes first. Then the sublevel, which we found on the periodic table. And then the number of electrons. 1s1. That is hydrogen's electron configuration. It tells us exactly where that electron is. First energy level, S sublevel, you'll find 1 electron. Seen here in the picture.